Hello and welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where bad comics burn. If you've seen my live streams, you probably know that my next major retrospective, coming in 2021 because I can't do that and Event Comics Month in the same year, is gonna be on Marvel's Transformers comics. Obviously, I'm going to talk more about those when we get to them, but there's a weird thing that happened with those when they were reprinted over in the UK. While American comics usually have a monthly format, UK Transformers comics were coming out weekly. As a result, more material was needed to fill in the pages. Sure, they'd split a reprinted comic in half, and later on even smaller, but they'd still need new material to fill in the space. As a result, original stories were commissioned that were meant to fill in the gaps between issues. Even though a lot of the time, the continuity disconnects required a lot of bending over backwards to account for stuff like meeting characters first in the UK version, needing convenient amnesia to forget that they had met them already once they caught up to the US stuff, etc. While the original Marvel Transformers run was 80 issues, the UK's ran for 332. The comics were also physically bigger, traditional magazine-sized as opposed to the usual comic book size. And of course, since we're talking about it at this time of year, the UK books had themselves some Christmas issues. Not surprising, since Optimus Prime has died and come back to life so many times, he's pretty much Autobot Jesus. Let's dig into Transformers UK number 145, and the story, Stargazing.
Welcome to Atop the Fourth Wall, where Yuletide candles burn. Linkara's gonna give you all a present you've not earned. You're not the brightest. Frank Miller, you're off the nice list. If you're a comic writer who misuses a license, your gift will be returned. Digging through the shelves for the kind of comic books that would turn Santa's elves into common crooks. He reads them and he weeps while down the chimney creeps. Pajamas with a Marvel trade to watch him when he sleeps. Linkara. He built a snowman, now it has a hole. Linkara. 8 maids, a milking, and a young blood troll. Linkara. Only one Dickens homage away from going chestnuts. Linkara. This Christmas comic sucks.
While I've got a physical copy of the book, I should note that the scans from this one come from a trade reprinting Transformers UK books, Volume 4 of Classics UK. Our cover is pretty good and gets its point across pretty well, a big banner proclaiming that it's Christmas. While Starscream answers that with, "So what?" Starscream hasn't been the same ever since he discovered Santa Claus isn't real. Or rather, he is real, but he's actually the combiner form of the Elfbots. Videos to be won inside. Unfortunately, the videos are all just copies of It's Pat. We open on Starscream standing in the middle of a snowy street as he stares up into the sky. His name is Starscream. He is one of the most cruel, ruthless, and treacherous Transformers ever to grace the ranks of the Decepticons. But he helped me move that one time, so he can't be all bad. Or, at least, he was! Starscream was haunted by 3 ghosts that night. The ghost of Christmas Future was Optimus Primal from Beast Machines. It's up there somewhere. My world. My home. Damn GPS craps out right when I need it. The place where I learned to fight, to cheat, to betray for the Decepticons. And now the student loans are killing me. I was gonna make a joke about Starscream slipping in the ice and snow and being trapped on the freeway and thus rethinking his life, but that's actually kind of what's going on. He's contemplating his life after months of hibernation due to a previous issue and how his aspirations to rule Cybertron have only gotten him stuck away from home. Commanding the Decepticons, winning the Autobot War. Forget it! I just want to see my home again! I, Starscream, will be home for Christmas! Turns out he's actually near a guy's house, and an occupant of said house goes out to talk to him. You're a Transformer, aren't you? No, I'm a GoBot! Now piss off! Actually, again, that's not too much of an exaggeration. He just wants the human to go away. It's a sure sign of how bad things are when I can't even stir up the enthusiasm to squash a fleshling. Boy, are you a miserable lump of metal. It's Christmas Eve. You should be happy. I'm Jewish, fleshling. You are? No, but I'm an alien death robot. What should I care about this holiday? Like, seriously, dude, I love Christmas a lot. I love the general atmosphere of love and joy and all that, but not only is insisting someone should be happy because it's Christmas really dickish, but you're trying to do this to a robot that just admitted it wants to murder you. But no, he continues. If you knew what Christmas was all about, you'd soon cheer up. He's gonna start talking about the Christmas shoes, and Starscream will just start rapidly stomping him until his foot is halfway through the planet. And you don't know, do you? Admit it! And what if he doesn't? I don't think this is the gotcha you think this is. Oh, how do the Autobots manage to stay friendly with this species? Well, for starters, they don't usually hang around outside their houses brooding. Starscream accesses his databanks and learns about Christmas, how it's an annual festival that includes stuff like family reunion, gift giving, and he pretty much cuts it off right there and tells the guy to buzz off once more. No, it's not like that at all. Not mechanical. You just don't understand the spirit of Christmas. It's where you give each other expensive mechanical things. Wait. Starscream has had enough and just grabs the guy, telling him to go away or he'll make sure he won't be around to celebrate Christmas Day. He takes the hint and says he'll go home. Home? How simple you make that sound. You have a home. You can easily get there. I envy you, fleshling! And thus the guy invites Starscream in for Christmas dinner. Happy ending all around. When he realizes how depressed Starscream is, he asks more politely to show him the true meaning of Christmas, thinking that'll brighten his spirits. And thus Starscream changes into his jet mode. I wasn't sure why he'd do that when he didn't say he needed to travel anywhere, but I figure it's so he can just blast off as far away as possible if the guy further annoys him. Wow, neat transformation! Parents should buy like 6 of you for their kids this Christmas. And Starscream uses his arm, while in jet mode, to grab the guy and put him in his cockpit. All right, where are we going? I don't know. Which direction is this spirit of Christmas, then? Well, I'd take you to Santa's secret snowy garden, but I heard some demons took it over. They just head down the road, the guy hoping they'll find people giving some presents to each other. He explains how presents can show the needy receiving comfort, the hopeless receiving hope, that the act of giving is, in itself, the greatest feeling of all. Ha! Only the weak give, the strong take! Which is why all of your attempts to take power have been so successful, Starscream. While an Autobot spots them flying overhead, the guy sees a bus that's stuck in a snowdrift. Sunnydale Retirement Village. Holy crap, Transformers is not only canon to the Marvel Universe, but so is Buffy! Hey, that bus is stuck in a snowdrift. Take us down. And since we're in a jet, we just passed it, and now we're several more miles away as I've been talking. Look, the bus is packed with elderly people, probably on their way to their Christmas celebration. I bet they've been looking forward to this trip all year, and now they're freezing cold, stuck in a snowdrift. I love the unintentional dig at the retirement home business, implying that they have nothing else to look forward to all year. He says Starscream can think of it as a Christmas gift to them. But what's in it for me? Elderly humans, your bus has fallen! I, Starscream, am your new leader! The guy says to trust him, just do it and you'll feel better. But then the Autobot, Streetwise, one of the Protectobots, attacks, thinking that Starscream is gonna hurt them. Too busy listening to that dumb kid. Didn't see him until it was too late. Wait, that guy was a kid this whole time? Would explain how idiotic he's being, but this does make me wonder why, if he was having such a great Christmas with his family, he decided to walk outside. Although I suppose with Starscream being millions of years old, even a 30-year-old would be considered a kid by him. Anyway, Streetwise is not so Streetwise, since he transforms back into car mode to outmaneuver Starscream's lasers, but the road was pretty icy and snowy. This really should have gotten him as stuck in the snowdrift as the bus. But instead it allows him to race closer and tackle Starscream. The Decepticon almost lands on the bus. Lord, that was close! Right? Something tells me these boys ain't filling in for Santa this year. Nah, but Starscream would make a fun Krampus. Now, Decepticon scum, you die! Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Before the fight can continue, the kid starts yelling at Streetwise about how Starscream was going to help those people. Because of your trigger-happy mentality, those people nearly did get hurt. Don't you see, when you think with your fists, you become as bad, if not worse, than your enemies. Yeah, how dare he not assume the best about the guy who once turned giant-sized and swore to destroy 3 major human cities and required both Transformers sides to join forces to destroy him. Who's the real Decepticon, Streetwise? And thus Starscream happily frees the bus and lets it go on its way. Good on you, big fella! You're a regular 50-foot Santa boy! Santa freeing trapped cars has always been my favorite part of the mythology. Streetwise is confused by all this, but Starscream and the kid just say it's because it's Christmas. He decides to escort the bus away, the kid saying he'll be fine staying with Starscream. Later, in a park, the kid explains that in giving hope and comfort to others, you receive reassurance too. Maybe next time, it's you who will get help with your problems. Maybe Megatron would give you leadership if you helped him. Huh? Starscream balks at this, saying he was only helping the humans because it would humiliate Streetwise. You don't mean that, do you? Is that really all the incident meant to you? I don't know what to say. Except, well, Merry Christmas. Well, I also did it so those old people would be indebted to me. Starscream will get all the Christmas cards with money in them! And so our story ends with Starscream scoffing and walking off, but then suddenly turns around. Oh, Merry Christmas, kid! A heartwarming ending signifying that perhaps Starscream did get a little Christmas spirit in his spark. Until you realize that he stranded that kid like 50 miles away from his house. This story's pretty good. It's nothing groundbreaking, and the art is a little flat, though that mostly works because of the snowy atmosphere. Everything's blanketed in white for the most part, which makes stuff like the park at the end stand out a little more. The story is also just fine. We know Starscream can't really become a good guy because of the spirit of Christmas, but the ending signifies that a random act of kindness, the kid helping him out and humiliating an Autobot, can at least do some good for him. After all, it brought him out of his depression. And hey, everyone got out alive and happy, kind of proving the kid's point in the end, how the season can bring out the best in us if we're just willing to try to be decent. Now, whether that would have worked if not for Streetwise's attack, probably not, but hey, at least it's not overly cynical or rejects the ideas outright, even for a villain. Next time, we surprisingly enough have a Patreon-sponsored holiday episode, where we look at the tie-in comic to Batman, the Brave and the Bold. What's funny is that Starscream ended up as the Jacob Marley of the Transformers universe since he became a ghost and all.
Hello, my friends. Please be sure to like this video, subscribe, hit the bell, and share it with others. And if you get a chance, maybe check out my Patreon.